Hello, welcome back to the channel, Pop's Reclamation Station. I suppose I could have chosen a little better, easier name to say than reclamation, but it rhymed with station. Something a little different today than the norm of doing dinky toys or corgis or whatever. I purchased some Britain's lead soldiers from the flea market last week when I was there, and these guys just need a cleaning up, washing, and some of them are older and some of them are newer. So we have the soldiers from these would be from the late 40s into the 50s. So these ones, and he's got a couple of broken guns there we're going to try and repair. And this guy too would be in about that era. Usually you can tell by the base from what era they are. This one, the Britons, sometimes the stamping isn't really great on there, and the Britons is kind of come off. And the guy laying down here, this would be the oldest one. This would be, could be possibly pre-war, that being Second World War. So we're going to give him a clean. He was pretty dirty. I just put a little bit of soap in here, and we'll give him a little cleaning off. And his gun is broken, so I'm going to have to try and get a picture so I can work on the gun. Usually they're the British ones were water cooled, and they were a round barrel, usually with some of them had holes in the barrel for the ones that are air cooled, and the other ones was a canister of water in there to help keep the barrel cool. And I had the name of the gun in my mind about a second ago, and it's gone. Oh well. Anyway. So these guys would be the ones with the Bren guns. They would be from the late 40s, 50s, and they all have the name on the bottom. And this guy here is painted over, so hard to tell. Some of these guys I don't know where they're from. This guy looks like he's from India. Probably a Sikh warrior, Sikh soldier. And this guy I should know. I think he's from possibly Arabia or Egypt. Just need a little washing up. Not too bad now. It's looking pretty dirty. And I just had a bunch of these. I had 14 soldiers from the whole group, and I just sold them on my other channel, on Etsy, where I sell. And this is also a Briton. He's got England on the back of his tunic there. Then I bought some other ones. This is the Beefeater in the bag. If I can get them out of here, get you a little better look at them. Now these are later model ones. These are still vintage. These would be out of the 80s. This one is 1980. Looks like 86 or 88 on there. It's hard to get that last number because a lot of the newer ones are now plastic, with a plastic base as well. So that's a Beefeater guy. Now this guy I'm not sure, could be Prussian, possibly. I think he could be Prussian. And get him out of here. Have a look at him. And he's also would be probably from the 80s, and he's got a different crest here and a different mark. I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to try and and see. It doesn't look like the Britain's ones that I'm used to. So he's looking pretty good. Needs a little cleaning up on the base here. So I don't normally work on my soldiers because usually they're in pretty good condition, but these guys I thought I'm going to work on, and I will use that as one of the videos for repair. Any of you guys that are out there working on these. Now this is a Royal Guards by the look of him, and he is from the 80s, is 1986 on that. He has a plastic gun and very good condition, excellent condition. And then from the military band, here is one of the bugle, is it bugle? No, it's a trumpet player. He's a trumpet player. And he is from 1990. Excuse me, so he's just before the guys got turned into plastic. These are still lead and well painted, well done, these guys. So get them right off. So what I needed to do is fix the barrel. Now the Bren gun is not very long, it's not a very big barrel, and they easily break off, and I'm going to, because where his hand would be, that's the length of the barrel isn't that much longer. There was a cooling mechanism on the outer shell of the Bren gun, and so he didn't overheat his hands, and it would probably be a few inches longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill it out. I've started the hole there, I've filed it down flat, and I'm going to put this in partially to where I think the end should be, and then I'm going to build it up with some putty, and we'll get to that. So there's two guys that need that, and then this guy who's laying down first. He was kind of dirty, and I thought he was a German soldier. I thought he was gray, but actually he's green. And being that he's a different green, I'm thinking it's probably First World War gunner with the hat as well. So we're going to work on him. I've already drilled the hole out, and I'm going to, I have a nail here somewhere, a finishing nail, and I'm going to place inside. Then I'm going to have to work out the length of the barrel and make it round accordingly, and the nail will be the structure underneath to hold it together, because that would have been molded in one piece. So we're going to work on him, and we'll see later on if we give him a paint job or not. And as I said, this guy, there was a name for those guys with the red on their, the red part of their hats. Anyway, he's not looking too bad. Usually, a lot of times the bayonet is broken off. He's in pretty decent shape. So once we get started on some of that work, we'll come back. Well, welcome back. The last part of the video I was working on the soldiers. Get them in here. I was showing you this one, which was not broken. He's in good shape, and these were all Britons. And as you know, the Bren gun, the barrel was broken off. So what I've taken is a piece of Hot Wheels axle, because it's very thin, and I drilled a hole in the body of the gun and put part of the axle in there to make up the end of it. I've done that with both of these, and I'm going to just paint them up. Now, what I did with this fella is I took, in the last video I had using the nail as the base, and then I took a piece of brass tubing for the barrel and made the barrel. And since this one was, I was trying to remember the name of the gun, and it was, some of them were air cooled, some of them were water cooled, and I believe this one to be a water cooled gun. And so I did that, and I have the nail as the end of the barrel, and then I had to make a another tripod piece at the bottom. So I had another piece of brass, smaller tubing, and I just shoved it on there and kind of filled it up with glue and a little bit of baking soda to give it more depth, and I'm going to paint that up and get that done. And I was just saying that he's stamped on the bottom, Britain's, made in England, and believing that this guy was probably pre-war. And some of the guns are glossy, and some of them are kind of flat. So he's a little more flat. I don't want to do it up too pretty. So I might take and I had a black primer here somewhere. I do it. There we go. So I've been away from the channel for a while. It is Boxing Day here in Canada. I don't know what you have in other parts of the world, if they celebrate a Boxing Day after the fact or not. But we do. We have our holidays are extended because it's on a Saturday, Sunday. Our holidays are extended Monday to Tuesday, so I don't go back to work until Wednesday. So my workplace has changed a little bit. We've hired 2 drivers, and hopefully that's going to help with our overtime situation. I work pretty much 10 plus hours a day, sometimes 12. But yeah, we're so busy. Anyway, and we had a death in our family. Unfortunately, we had a very serious death. It was my wife's eldest daughter. Had a fight with cancer and unfortunately lost. And we were in New Brunswick in November. I spent 2 weeks there, and my wife spent about a month. And she had died on the 22nd of November. Which was very sad. It's very sad when you're burying your children. And she was 54. So yeah, was unexpected, to put it that way. Anyway, so I'm back for today. I'm going to try and do this little video, and there's a couple of other things I'm going to talk about. And so hopefully we can get another video going before I go back to work and play some catch up, I guess. So let me just see if I can get some of this paint. Okay, so I've got some gloss paint in a jar, in a bottle that I'm going to use, and have this one. I'm going to flat black. I'm going to use on the barrel of this gun. I don't want it to look too pretty. I find myself a different brush here. So we're gonna see what we can do. Paint this up a little bit. So I hope everyone's had a great Christmas. I know with COVID and everything, it's been really weird. In the last few years, we haven't been able to get together very well. My children are kind of spread out. My wife's children are here close by us, and so we've had some time with them, and we did that, and we were out to church on the the eve of how did they do that? Christmas Eve, or whatever. Anyway, so it was actually the day before Christmas Eve, and we had our service and the kids and all of that, and it was great. So we're just going to try to do this up a little bit, and I see that his gun where the bullets go in, that's kind of a brown, and I'm not sure why that's oh, that's the holder would be down there, so I'm going to try and get some of that done up too. I don't want to be too pretty on it because it's already used, and didn't want to get them too glossed up. Okay, so put him on top here so he can dry, and see if I can get these guys done up a little bit. Now, I don't think I have any flesh color paint to paint his hand. I was talking about the guns, Bren guns, and some of the British guns were couple of different styles that they used. One that had a little handle on the bottom, and the other one had a handle out the side. And this one has the bullets in a barrel type, in a round casing like that, instead of the ones that were in a rectangular tube. So he's not looking too bad. This guy's gun, I'll just touch it up just a little bit. So all I did was I sprayed some paint in the cap. Yeah, get him done up. And the dark green I don't have. I'll have to try to manufacture some of that if I need it. So, it rained here on Christmas. We had some snow earlier in the week, a few days before that, and then it rained. And I think I heard Martin when he was doing his one the other night. It sounded like it was raining in the background in where he was in England. I'm looking for my tube. There we go. So I'm just going to put some paint thinner in here and clean my brush up. I have some Christmas music playing in the background. Actually, it's Celtic Christmas music playing. If you can hear it in the background there, I hope it's not too loud, overshadowing my voice. So there, I got my brush cleaned up, and now I will come right back on there. Put it over here. So, and whatever paint is in there, we'll just let it, excuse me, just let it dry. So, I did a video of some purchases I had made, and I just never got it up to the computer and got it out there. When I was in New Brunswick, when my where my stepdaughter was, there's a place there that I tried to go into and see if they have any toys for sale, and they had a few, not too much this time. Well, it's because of COVID, I guess everything has been different, because a lot of places have been closed, and they were only open a few days a week as well. So what I did was I bought this Yale tractor, what's called a tractor shovel, and somebody had done a bad paint job on it, trying to touch it up with the orange and the yellow. And I'm going to attempt to do this one in my next video and take it all apart. And I have a good one here from my own collection that's in very good shape, so I can see where everything, all the parts go, and make sure I don't mess it up when I take it apart, because it looks a little hairy to take apart. So I purchased this one at a discount because it was badly painted, and then I got the road grader. This is the Dinky Super Toys, and this one was French Dinky, and it's called Richier, R-I-C-H-I-E-R, Richier. My French is not that great, sorry. But I've always wanted to have one of these, and they're very scarce to come upon, so this one's going to stay in my collection for a while. And it's in very good shape, and the guy is in his seat there, and everything works. You know, the tires are very good. It has plastic hubs on this one. And it is a number 886 in the French Dinky toy. So that one doesn't need any work on it. It's just going to go onto my shelf. And so, as I said, so this will be the next upcoming project, and it's got 2 screws on the base. The axles are good, just need a little brushing up. The tires aren't bad. Hopefully I can get them off. May have to soak them in hot water. And the hydraulics and everything seems to be looking pretty good. They use the cotter pins for hydraulics. Somebody came up with that idea, and I thought that was from Dinky. That's a pretty interesting idea to do that. Now these Dinkies came out a little later. These were probably for the American market, and they would probably I don't remember in my book what year this was, but I would assume 60s into the 70s for those. And I like construction ones, and I like them stuff that moves. So that's cool. So yeah, that's what I purchased when I was down there, and I've got lots of upcoming projects. And one of the videos that I didn't do was from, I think it was from September. That's how long it's been that I've probably been at this. Was supposed to have been that painted blue, and I never got around to showing it. And this was the Dinky Oldsmobile. If you remember from one of my other videos, I had it here was white, and I had done the fenders, and it had bled through. So I left the blue on the fenders and just repainted over top, so you get a little subtle difference in the blue paint, which gave it a nice effect. And I thought the white tires and the chrome wheels set it off. So that's kind of a cool finish. And I was just finishing up some other stuff, taxi, that needed finishing up. and it went for the blue inside, and that's kind of a metallic black finish on that Austin taxi. And then this one, the other video, for some reason, maybe it's the light. Let me see if I can get this different here. Now, hang on, I'm having trouble with the brightness on this computer. Keeps going off. Okay, so the light is not doing this justice very good. If I can turn this one off. Hang on. Let me see if I can get it better. And my brightness keeps disappearing. Hang on. Okay. So, I don't know. Seem to, it's kind of a minty green. I don't know if you can see that very well there, with the white roof. And that's the Mercedes. I think it's a 180 SL or 160 SL. Anyway, I needed some work on the body. Had some marks on the casting, and I was just doing that up. And a little bit here. I still have some work to do on that one. So, and then this was up in the office in my collection, so that's the one I was considering doing, and it could use a makeover. The bottom is pretty bad. This was the Atlas Copco number 436, and I was going to do that as part of the shell exploration vehicles that I talked about before, and it needs some work inside. The inner part of it has all come loose in there, but the windows are good and everything is good. I'll have to make up my own new stickers for it. Yeah, so that's going to be another one that's upcoming. So anyway, just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone, and thank you for all my subscribers who have helped me out during this past, I think it's been about a year, I guess I've been on, close to a year doing this, and I know we're still growing with new subscribers and stuff, and there's still lots of projects to do, lots of things to upcoming. And my sales were pretty good this year. I do sell on Etsy. I've mentioned that a couple of times, I think, on here, if anyone is. And I'm only shipping to North America right now. I had a lot of buyers in California this year, which was quite a surprise. And with the postal rates, as you know, postal rates in abroad have gone crazy, and they're talking about raising them again here, not so much in the postage, but in some of the courier ones. I'm not sure about UPS, but I heard some of the other ones, FedEx and that, were considering raising their rates, and they were already high. So we're kind of in that place where everything is going up, and we're not making any much more with the food and everything. I suppose you guys across the pond are experiencing some of that. We have thousands of containers sitting in the ocean on container ships outside of British Columbia and outside of California and other places around the world that they just can't get just haven't got caught up with all of the manufacturing that's been down, and people are staying at home and stuff, and so it's raised our prices and causing us to have more anxiety over stuff in the future. Anyway, 2022 is coming up, and I just want to say wish you many blessings to you and your family. For those of you who are finding it stressful this time of year, I know a lot of people find Christmas, New Year's, and that a little hard, especially if you've been laid off in the last little while. Fortunately, we were able to bless some families and bless some people that were suffering this time of year, and it's always good to, if you're able to give and able to help some people out. I would encourage you in this upcoming year, not, make it a special, maybe just make it a little special assignment for you to do that and bless somebody else. Well, thank you. Have a happy New Year, and hopefully I'll be back actually between now and New Year's and have another video going and show you how these guys turned out actually when they're completely done. Actually, it doesn't look too bad, not too bad, eh? Alright, till the next video, take care, thanks, bye bye.